Scene 7. The retaliation. The city was quiet in that late-night way where every sound seemed sharper. Cobalt HQ was lit only by the glow of monitors and the hum of servers in the corner. Johnny stood in his office, staring down at the photo of his condo sent by Green's people. It wasn't fear in his eyes, it was calculation. Benjamin entered, holding 2 coffees, tossing one on Johnny's desk. "You're doing that thing again, staring like you're about to strangle the skyline." Johnny smirked faintly. "I was thinking about where to bury Green's career." Benjamin chuckled low. "Good, because I've got a feeling he's not gonna stay quiet." As if on cue, Pilar's voice cut through the war room. Guys, we've got a problem." The call. They gathered around Pilar's screen. The live feed showed the parking garage beneath Cobalt HQ. One of their cameras had picked up a figure in a dark hoodie circling Pilar's car. Benjamin leaned closer. "He's planting something." Pilar's hands clenched into fists. "Oh, hell no!" Johnny's voice was calm. "Kill the lights, lock the garage down." Pilar's fingers flew over the keyboard. The screen went black for 3 seconds. When it came back, the figure was gone. Lana's brow furrowed. "Tell me you triggered the motion sensors." "Yep," Pilar replied. "And guess what? Our mystery guest left us a present." She switched the feed to camera 6, close-up of Pilar's windshield. A single envelope. No name, no words, just a green wax seal. Benjamin muttered, "This man's got a flair for drama." Johnny's jaw tightened. "Bring it upstairs, gloves on." The message. Minutes later, the envelope sat in the middle of the war room table. The air felt heavier, like the walls themselves were holding their breath. Johnny put on a pair of nitrile gloves, broke the seal and pulled out a single sheet of paper. In bold black ink. "You're trespassing in a world you don't belong to. Back away. Or bleed for it." And below it, a photo. Pilar, taken from across the street near her apartment. Pilar's face went still. For a moment, the room was silent enough to hear the hum of the servers. "Okay," she said, voice low and dangerous. "Now I want to hurt this man." Johnny folded the paper, calm as ice. "Good. We're going to make him wish he'd never heard our names." Benjamin stepped closer. "What's the move?" Johnny looked at each of them. "We finish dismantling Klein. Then we take Green apart piece by piece. No noise, no headlines, just silence and ruin." Green's countered. Meanwhile, across town in a private penthouse office, Senator Gary Green poured himself a glass of 18-year scotch and looked out over the city. Reggie Klein stood behind him, jaw tight, anger simmering. "You want me to handle them?" Klein asked. Green didn't turn. "No, I want you to watch." "Watch?" Green sipped his drink, calm and deadly. "I want them to believe they're winning, because when you crush a man's bones, it's always sweeter if he thought he had the upper hand first." Klein grinned slowly. "You're evil." Green smirked at the glass. "I'm practical." Cobalt HQ, the line crossed. Pilar slammed her laptop shut. "I'm done playing defense. We hit Klein's accounts again. This time we pull the floor out from under him. Freeze every cent he's got tied up in alder path." Lana raised an eyebrow. "That'll light Green up like a bonfire." Johnny nodded once. "Good. Then we'll know he's finally paying attention." Benjamin cracked his knuckles and grinned like a wolf. "Let's make it hurt." Scene 8. Rain-slicked streets reflected the glow of neon as Benjamin's BMW rolled to a stop 2 blocks from Klein's high-rise. The city felt tense tonight, like it was holding its breath. Johnny sat in the passenger seat, his tie loosened, but his expression sharp as a blade. In the back, Pilar leaned forward, laptop perched on her knees, while Lana spoke into her headset, tracking every security feed in the area. "All right," Johnny said. "Phase 1, we lock his assets down. Pilar?" Pilar's fingers danced across her keyboard. "Done. Bank accounts frozen. He's gonna wake up broke." "Phase 2, Johnny continued. "We bleed his reputation." Lana tapped her screen. "Already sent a packet to 3 compliance officers. Klein's name is about to be trending in all the wrong rooms." Benjamin grinned from behind the wheel. "And phase 3, Johnny's voice went cold. "We watch him crack." Through the windshield, they saw Klein storm out of his condo lobby. Even from a distance, the panic was clear. His phone glued to his ear, movements sharp and frantic. Benjamin chuckled. "He's twitching like a man who just realized his credit card got declined." "Stay on him," Johnny said. The SUV followed Klein's car as he sped through the city, weaving into a quiet industrial district. He finally pulled into an underground parking structure beneath an old office building. Benjamin frowned. "Sketchy." "Perfect," Johnny replied. Pilar's laptop beeped. "Hold up, I'm not liking this. Traffic cameras in the area just looped. Somebody's running interference." Johnny's eyes sharpened. "Green," Benjamin smirked. Guess he RSVP'd. The team parked on the upper level of the garage, 2 floors above Klein. Johnny and Benjamin exited first, weapons holstered but ready. The concrete walls echoed with the sound of dripping water and distant engines idling. "Pilar," Johnny said into his mic. "Eyes on?" "Street cams are dead. You're dark," she replied. "I don't like it." Lana's voice followed. "Johnny, I've got motion sensors pinging near the lower level. 3, maybe 4, no, 5 heat signatures." Johnny drew his gun. "It's a trap." He motioned to Benjamin, who grinned like this was his idea of a good time. The sound came first, boots on concrete, then shadows moving between the dimly lit pillars. 5 men, all black tactical gear, no insignia. One of them spoke. "Mr. Donnelly, the senator sends his regards." Johnny's smirk was razor thin. "Tell the senator I'm busy." The first man lunged. Benjamin met him halfway, slamming him against a pillar with enough force to shake the garage. Johnny ducked as the second man swung, twisting and driving his elbow into the attacker's ribs before slamming him to the ground. Pilar's voice was frantic over comms. "You've got more incoming, south ramp!" Johnny grabbed Benjamin's shoulder. "Move!" They dove behind a concrete barrier as gunfire cracked, bullets sparking off metal. Benjamin grinned like a wolf. Finally, he grabbed a fallen attacker's baton and charged. One swing, down went another man. Johnny stayed controlled, precise. 2 clean strikes and a third assailant was on the ground groaning. "Johnny," Pilar shouted, "you've got 20 seconds before cops roll by. Make it fast." Johnny pinned the last attacker against a pillar, gun pressed to his temple. "Message for Green," Johnny said coldly. "Try harder." He knocked the man out with the butt of his weapon and holstered it, turning to Benjamin. "Let's move." Benjamin grinned. "And people say I'm the violent one." They piled into the BMW, tires screeching as they tore out of the garage. Pilar exhaled into comms. "You good?" Johnny's voice was calm. "We're fine." Lana cut in. "Green's not gonna stop now. He just made it personal." Johnny's eyes narrowed, his tone cold and even. "He already did." Scene 9. Bleed them out. The morning sun cut across the city like gold on steel, but inside Cobalt HQ there was nothing warm about the light. The war room was a battlefield of screens, files, and tension so sharp it could split glass. Johnny stood in front of the board, his jacket gone, shirt sleeves rolled to his forearms. His face was calm, but his eyes burned with quiet fury. Behind him, Benjamin leaned against the wall like a coiled spring, and Pilar typed with predatory focus, the glow of her monitor reflected in her sharp brown eyes. Lana was on the phone, voice low and clipped, trading words with one of her deep-pocket contacts downtown. Johnny tapped the board with a marker. "We stop waiting. We stop reacting. We bleed Green dry. I want his network dismantled until all he's got left is a title and an empty bank account." Benjamin grinned. "Music to my damn ears." Lana hung up her call. "We hit Klein first, then follow the money. I've got a contact at compliance who owes me a favor. She'll fast-track any red flags we push her way." Pilar smirked. "And I've been mapping every dummy corporation tied to Alderpath. There's enough dirt here to bury Klein 3 times and still have shovels left for Green." Johnny looked at all of them, steady. "We make him hurt, quietly. No noise, no splash, just damage." Benjamin cracked his knuckles. "You know, sometimes I forget how scary you are when you're calm." Johnny gave him the faintest smile. "Good, let's get to work." 2 hours later, Pilar's fingers were a blur. "All right," she said, a sharp grin spreading across her face. "One Cayman account frozen. Offshore lawyers are gonna have migraines for days." Lana followed, sliding a file across the table. "And here's Klein's sister's mortgage paperwork. Bank just revoked her line of credit. Her house is officially in pre-foreclosure review." Benjamin laughed. "Oh, this is beautiful. Death by 1,000 cuts." Johnny nodded approvingly. "Don't stop there. Keep cutting until Klein's too busy drowning to run to Green for air." But Green didn't get where he was by sitting still. By mid-afternoon, Lana's phone buzzed. She read the text and her face hardened. "It's Green. He leaked our names to one of his media friends. Says we're under unofficial investigation for illegal surveillance." Benjamin slammed his fist against the table. "That's a move?" Johnny didn't flinch. "No, that's desperation. He's playing loud because we're winning." Pilar cracked a knuckle. "And we're about to play louder." By 11 p.m., the city was sleeping. Cobalt wasn't. Pilar had traced one of Alderpath's shell accounts to a hidden warehouse property in the Dockside district, a building supposedly owned by a logistics firm with 0 shipping records. Johnny, Benjamin, and Pilar stood in the shadows across the street, the glow of the warehouse lights cutting through the mist. Benjamin leaned on the hood of the car. This feels like the part of the movie where the soundtrack goes real low before somebody gets punched in the throat. Pilar checked her tablet. Motion sensors inside, 2 guards, maybe 3. Johnny scanned the building. We're not here for them, we're here for the files. In and out. Benjamin smirked. You always say that and then something explodes. Johnny gave him a look. Not tonight. They moved. Fast. Silent. Like shadows sliding through tighter shadows. Inside the warehouse, the air was cold, metallic, and smelled faintly of oil and secrets. Rows of crates towered like walls. Pilar hacked the security feed from her tablet while Benjamin watched their 6. We're in, Pilar whispered. Johnny strode straight to the office in the back, cracked the lock, and found it. A safe. And on it, a digital keypad. Pilar's grin was wicked. Oh, honey, you should have tried harder. 30 seconds later, it was open. Inside, drives, files. Enough paper to tie Alderpath to half a dozen shell accounts, and Pilar froze. Johnny, this isn't just green. She turned the file around. A name, Darius Vaughn. Benjamin's face went cold. Oh, hell. Johnny stared at the name, his jaw tightening. Bag it, he said. Now.